All right, this is the best part. Grab yourself a pork shoulder. We're gonna put that shoulder right inside there. Fits perfect. Got myself some Sweet Baby Ray's. Yeah, it's got the hickory and brown sugar. I'm gonna use all 18 ounces. Get that all up on there. Half cup of apple cider vinegar. Half cup of chicken broth. Garlic cloves. Brown sugar. We're gonna go with a fourth cup of the brown sugar. We're gonna give it a little chipotle chili powder. What are we gonna use here? We're gonna use a tablespoon. We're gonna go with some yellow mustard, 1 tablespoon. Tablespoon of the Wash Your Sister sauce. That's what they call it, I guess. I don't know how to say it. 1.5 teaspoons of thyme. Y'all can't forget about the chopped onions. White onion. All mixed in and mixed around good. We're gonna go on high heat for about 5 hours. Several hours later, here we are. We gotta make that cheese sauce. Because we're making mac and cheese, right? Oh no, we ain't grabbing that yet. We're grabbing a little bit of butter. We're gonna melt that in a little saucepan, medium-sized saucepan what I'm using here. And I know you're gonna ask, it's like 2 tablespoons of butter. Butter's starting to melt, then we're gonna go with 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. I'm gonna start whisking that in. Grab and start bringing in, as you're whisking, 2 cups of milk. 1%, 2%, spill it all over the counter, whatever. 2 minutes. We're gonna do a little salt, little pepper. That's what we're gonna do right here, right? Just a little bit of salt to like to taste. We're going with a little bit of pepper. We got several different cheeses I'm using. First, just some all-American cheese, sliced cheese. You're gonna say, oh, you're using sliced cheese. Pay attention. All right, we're gonna get that broke up in there. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go with a Colby Monterey Jack, freshly shredded. You don't want to use all this. I mean, you're going to use in total probably a couple cups worth. You're going to go with a sharp cheddar, shredded mozzarella. I keep saying shredded because, you know, I had to shred all of this. And then last but not least, a little bit of mild cheddar. All right, we're going to get that in there. Now we're going to take it. It's already starting to melt. We can reduce the heat a little bit here now that it's all melting in. It's already almost melted. All right, but whisk it to a melt. Reduce the heat. And then allow it to bring this to a simmer. We're gonna use a penne pasta. Now this is already fully cooked. I got a little butter in there. Yeah, they cooked. Your mac and cheese sauce that you just made. And we're just going to coat all of the pasta mixed in to all of your pasta. We're gonna go ahead and lay down some additional light cheese. We're using all of the same cheeses that we just used. So we gotta get some of that mozzarella up in there. Right. Now I got my pulled pork. Now, if you're gonna ask me, like I said, I had it in for several hours. The internal temperature of mine is 205 degrees Fahrenheit, which is way more than safe eating for pork. But because it is a shoulder, that's a good temperature right there. Right at that 205 degrees. Now this stuff is just gonna fall apart. You know, I'm gonna use a fork in my hand, right? And look at this. I mean, look at this. Just falls apart. That's what you want, right? That's right. Y'all were waiting to see that, right? Look at this. Just falling apart in my hands. Right. Pulled pork. Pull it, and we're going to drop it on top of the mac and cheese. I started getting some of that pulled pork in there. We're going to mix that all in because, you know, we don't want it just on the top. We want to mix that all into the mac and cheese. So that's how it should look right there, right? Now we're just going to finish our last seasoning with just a little bit of cayenne pepper. It's gonna bring out that flavor, I'm thinking. So you don't need to do any extras with your pasta. So now we're gonna top everything off with a little bit more cheese. 350 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna let all of that cheese melt because that's all we need. Everything else is fully cooked. All right, here it is. Pulled pork mac and cheese. Look at that right there. Yes. Delicious, I think this is gonna be. This is well worth making because most of the time it's sitting in the crock pot, slow cooker. So it ain't a hard meal to make for your family or yourself. But here we go. That's all we have to do now. I put a little salt and pepper on top, by the way. After I took it out of the oven, that's what you see the pepper on there. We just topped it off with that. And look it. There it is right there. With the pulled pork in there, all the cheese. We eating good now, ain't we? It's gonna be hot, but as always, I'm known to eat it hot. Let me get some of that pork in there because I know that's gonna taste good. Cause I already snuck some. I ain't gonna lie. Good to the last bite. Mmm. This is really, really good. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of being down south in the United States here. Yes, I'm from the United States, but I'm up north. So, yeah, but I've been to some nice places that serve pulled pork. That's what it reminds me of. Y'all need to get out there and try this.